Welcome to Transformations with Tara. This is Tara Sutphen, and my guest and co-host is Jason D McKean. And he is the voice of over 1 million Om recordings throughout the world, and he is the Om Tarot Wizard. And we are doing a bunch of classes on the tarot, and it is on Vortex Mystery School, and you can find those at tarainsight.com. And we've been enjoying doing these classes, haven't we, Jace?
Yeah, they've been a lot of fun. There's a lot of great information for people who are interested in learning tarot. And we call the series Tarot Revealed.
Yes. So, yeah, I'm developing the school, and there's lots of different classes coming, but there's astrology classes in place, and there's tarot now, and there is part 1 of human design. And so there will be many others classes of divination systems that I am an expert in, and Jason, and also my other co-trainers. So the astrology I'm doing with Matthew Engel out of San Francisco, and he's really fantastic. And then I'm doing the human design with Jules Bonney in New Zealand. And so, yeah.
Don't you love that you can like work with people all over the world?
Yes.
And just the ability to just bring it together, to focus on it, and to share this information that is, it's life-changing for people to learn it.
Yes. Yeah, it's really fantastic, for sure.
Yeah,
I'm just so lucky to know so many incredible practitioners, and just our community, our spiritual community is actually just fantastic.
Yeah, to be able to work with your colleagues and sometimes the sum of what two people's knowledge, coming together, it can make the difference in someone's understanding of astrology, of tarot, of the psychic sciences, which you're a master of. It's like an understanding of all of these various modalities to be able to understand the human spirit, the human path, that path that we all walk on, to find meaning, to be our best selves. It's like, yeah, it's really, really wonderful.
Thank you. Yeah, so today we're going to talk about past life love. And so that could be our past in this life, really. Some of that past life. Where did the past life ties come from? Yeah, I mean, it's always quite interesting. I love past life regression for that. And we'll be doing a lot of that too. And but we're going to see through the tarot. We're gonna look. So Jason, what do you usually signify as past life love in the tarot?
Well, as far as like a card, like if it comes up in a reading, that signifies where there is that connection from long ago. It's like the 6 of Cups. This is the version in the Wizard's Tarot, the deck that I mostly read.
Beautiful. That's a beautiful 6 of Cups.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's like there's usually a couple kids on it, but it has an energy of the past, of how we have had various experiences before, how there's these connective tissues, these ties that will, it's like we'll find each other, even in like a lifetime, such as ours. There's a lot of ways to find people, either through the internet and all, but
these days, yeah,
but it's energetic too. It's where you can be in a group of people, and it's like your own inner compass is able to direct you to people that it's like there's a familiarity, there's a can sometimes be this awakening inside saying, I know you, I don't know exactly how yet, but it's a recognition. And, sometimes if it's like a romantic recognition, there's a good basis there to, to start a relationship in. If it's, friends, like if people have been your family in the past, it's like you may start there with that knowledge of what the relationship was, but you can build on it. You can uh you know grow in creating new layers to that relationship.
Mhm. Yeah, and now, yeah, and it's interesting who you're born to be together with. A lot of times your relatives, you're definitely born to have to experience them. And sometimes it's not so great, and other times it's really great. Like my family's been fantastic.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
super
it's like
lucky.
we've
Yeah.
been very fortunate in that to have you know make positive um experiences,
Mm.
and it's like everyone experiences a lot of the same things in life that are, it's like everyone, in this place of modern living, has the same influences that surround them. And no one is spared the events that can be, pretty large events, but it is how you handle them, how you see your siblings or your parents. Do you work with them? Do you work against them? And and it's like we've been very fortunate to be able to work together to have a larger goal in mind, and to also know about karma and things that, if you get too out of hand, you're going to have to pay the price for it.
Well, and Jason and I definitely, we've worked together for, gosh, I don't know how long now. I mean, it's going on a long time. Anyway,
Yeah, many years. I think my beard was black,
yeah,
when
and
we
you were in your
started working
20s.
together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were both really young when we started working together. But Jason was behind the scenes mostly. And I had him come out behind the wizard curtain. He's in front of the wizard curtain now. Yeah, so
Right.
he stepped out, because he's a great producer. Gosh, any of the technical stuff, websites, production on any level, books, magazines, product of CDs, MP3s, anything, Jason's a wizard at.
Yeah, it
In
runs the
fact,
gamut.
yeah, and so he became the tarot wizard. Yeah, he took a 4-day psychic boot camp that I was giving for a project we were doing, very wonderful project. And I said, Jason, I really want you on this project. Will you take the boot camp? I have 3 more people who want to take the boot camp. And so we did the boot camp from 7 in the morning till midnight. And that's where we cooked together and everything. And we, did all the modalities, different modalities, psychic modalities. And he was just already a whiz at tarot cards. So we talked about, that he should develop it. So he did. And now it's, history.
Yeah,
You took it and ran.
yeah, it's finding a resonance with a modality that I think that anything that aligns with your own personal philosophy of life and how to navigate life, that's mainly what I see in the tarot. And
Yeah.
you know
Can you show us like your books? Do you have a stack of books there?
I have, I've written 2 books. I just released my second book, the Tarot Circles and Cycles,
Reading the flow of energy.
reading the flow of energy in the tarot, with the tarot wizard. That's me.
Right.
And this book it covers like all of the cards.
Mhm.
It looks at all 78 tarot cards and looks at where the flow of energy is within that card. And, it's based on my reading experience. There may be other readers who will look at it and say, well, that's not what I see. That's fine, right?
Right.
It's write your own damn book. This is for for beginner readers, intermediate, and even advanced ones who are looking to find new layers within the cards, something that they hadn't thought of before. And it is a process of discovery.
Mhm.
That's what I find, that every reader will maybe bring a different understanding to each card. But as long as it's somewhere within that realm of experience, the spectrum of human experience, something that is helpful to a querent, because there's nothing worse than a querent coming in more confused or leaving more confused than when they came in. There's that's not the goal of any good tarot read. It's about
Right.
being able to
Clarity.
hone in where a person's at, and to offer advice that is helpful, that's hopeful, that's healing for that individual. And so this book is brand new on Amazon. It's like my first book, Magic Channel Tarot Reading with the Tarot Wizard. Totally different book.
Mhm.
I don't believe in just doing the same things over and over and over. They're very different books, and they complement. So if you go to my Amazon book page, there's like eight total books on it, but some are journaling notebooks, and then some are with my beloved boy Archie, our Archangel, journaling notebooks that are just meant to
Yeah.
be able to write your own thoughts in and stuff. But these are written. I've written the books. They're nonfiction books. So with
But
that,
Archangel, he was, yeah, and he was Archie for short. Anyway, he was a King Charles Cavalier.
Mhm.
Ruby, he was beautiful. They have two. Yeah, they had two. Oh, there's Archie. Yeah, so he was a gorgeous dog. And
Yeah.
sweet, sweet. He was a great dog, Chase. I know
Yeah.
you're saying that they
No,
crossed the
he was
Rainbow Bridge, but we all have to lose our dogs, and that's just like the worst part of it. I mean, my horse just turned very old. I can't even say how old she is because it's terrible. Yeah, she's up there.
yeah. I mean, we
Had her
talk
since she was
about
3, and now she's 27. And so it's just, it's tough. It's a whole lifetime.
we
You
talk
know?
about past lives, the ties to animals too, that is a thing. It's like, when me and Sue, when we went to a dog breeders, and there was Archie, it was like instantaneous, the connection. It's like I knew that I was connected to him, and that doesn't happen with every dog you see, every puppy, that's there. Puppies, they have that magic of the cuteness of being like, hey, pick me up,
Mhm.
make me your owner, your pet, whatever. But Arch was like, there was like this like deep connection, and it was magical. Our life together was magical. How he brought in our other girl, Ananda, that was magical. And so that, there's connective tissue there. And when we recognize it, it's like, it's like we have to act on it. We can't just stand by, and because opportunities can sometimes pass us by, and we lose that, and then we can go in life feeling like we're not as complete as we need to be. So um listen to your gut when you're connecting with people, animals, and you'll hear like the strains of the past, those melodies of the past that can come into your life and enrich your life.
Oh yeah. That's so funny because I have a funny story about Sophia. When I was in the Amazon, I brought home a dog from Brazil, from the Amazon, and not Amazon.com, from the actual Amazon.
You have to, like, say that. You have to,
Yeah,
like,
right.
clarify that.
Amazon the jungle
Yeah.
in Brazil. Anyway, so I bent down. She was crossing a dirt road. I was walking down a dirt road, and she was crossing a dirt road, and I said, come here, little dog. I knew that they were all like homeless little dogs, and or homeless big dogs. I mean, they were homeless dogs. And so I called her, and she came and she licked me right in the mouth. Yeah. And I just thought, at the time, it was like, what kind of germs do I have now? Do I have some kind of weird parasites?
Yeah, jungle germs.
Jungle germs, right? I had jungle germs right away. Yeah, like, oh God. Anyway, so hey, you talking about jungle germs. Yeah, Mr. Ghost right here. It's trying to take it, it's trying to take the electronics down. Anyway, so yeah, jungle germs. And I didn't realize, that she didn't belong to anyone at first. And then I realized that all the dogs didn't belong to anybody. So she just followed me around everywhere. And so I took her home. Yeah. And getting a dog out of Brazil is not super easy, but it wasn't super hard either. I put her into a vet's office, and they got me all the international papers, and I had her.
Yeah, it wasn't where you just
flown.
packed her in your suitcase and
No.
took her home. It was
it
like
took
a
6
little bit
weeks.
of a process.
Yeah, it took 6 weeks, but it was a process, but it happened. She has now been 6, going on 7 years with me. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
So, but she was a funny dog. Gosh, that just her, she has some Jack Russell in her, I think. And she just thought she was supposed to like take care of me, like how she's barking now on, that anything that moves, she needed to bark at it and to keep it away. To whereas it's like, no, you're a house dog. You have to be in the house. Got to cuddle on the couch. And so finally we worked with her with that, and she's a great house dog now. She sleeps in your arms, and yeah, she's
She's sweet. She is a real sweetheart.
She is.
I can't pull her ears though. She yelps if I do
yeah.
a motorcycle thing with her ears.
Yeah, she doesn't like anybody. I don't know what happened there, but yeah, nobody pulls on her ears.
Yeah.
She does a yelp, but she's just the sweetest natured dog. Anyway, Willie and Carissa were once watching her when I went on some trip, and she got out their front door, and it was bad because they have big LA city streets by them. And this kid who was working for Willie, he ran after her so fast. He was a young guy, probably like 22 or so. He's running after her, and she just went whoop, and she turned around. She went right back through Carissa's legs back into the house, like, I got to get away from this guy. Yeah. So it was hilarious. It's just hilarious how, her little free doggy instincts kind of came around like, no, I stay with them. So she's just such a good little dog.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, past life. I mean, who would have known I was going to pick up this dog? I must have known her from a past life, past something.
Yeah, and it's like when reading tarot and all, it's like the of course that 6 of Cups, it shows up if the Lover's card shows up, like this is the Lover's card and the Wizard's tarot.
Yeah,
there it still has that angelic being who is kind of directing the meeting.
Yeah.
It's like it's like when we're open to meeting someone, of looking for to bring someone into our life when we feel that we're a decent enough partner for a relationship, and we're seriously looking for someone. It's like how does that happen? What's the mechanics of that happening? And there can be these meetings that are directed, like without our knowing, if we are in a place of trying to just like look at everyone that we come across and just say, oh, is that the one, is hyper vigilant about it, we can be too much in it. We can like not see people when they are like, again, kind of like directed into our way of our own path, and then it's like where we can miss opportunities. We can miss opportunities.
So
And
Beanie didn't want to be left out.
hi, Mr. Bean.
Say hi.
He's more interested in your
Checking.
face.
He's checking to see if I ate without him.
You must have.
Yeah, where's she been? He's the one that went off. I was talking about Sophia, so he had to come and claim his territory back.
Of course, it's like he can't like be left out.
No.
Of it.
He's getting up there too. He's an 11 and a half for a French bulldog.
That's pretty good for a Frenchie.
Yeah, he's getting up there.
It's like he's been taken care of very well.
Of course, he's my little baby too. So anyway, yeah, talk about the past life loves, people. So when you meet people, once I knew somebody, I was a teenager, and I looked through a compact mirror. Somebody said, oh, look at these cute guys coming. And I looked through the compact mirror and looked behind me, and I went, and it's because I recognized him, from a past life. And it was like, oh my gosh, that was a crazy time. I don't know him anymore, but I certainly recognized him when I saw him. Mm-hmm. Where I've never studied either where I feel I know him in past life. But, of all the past life readings I've done, I never studied that one. But it wasn't interesting. It was interesting. That compact mirror and jumping. But usually the people that I've known, I've had that past life recognition with. A lot of friends as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not to say that we can't open to like new energy as well if we're in just a place in our life. We're sometimes expanding, sometimes we're meeting a lot of people. It's like as teachers, it's like there's a lot of new students that come in, and it's okay to be in that place of expansion too. But it feels like the people that are the ones that become confidants, that are you just have kind of an instant recognition. It's like those have like like you just know that their spirit, that you have been you've had adventures before.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You've had the camaraderie for a long time. But speak to those individuals that there's a more negative feeling, a visceral kind of like, oh, that person.
Yeah.
It's like
trying to stay away from.
too.
Yeah. But I would say, I can look back at like when I first met Jess Stern, was a great meeting. And how I was very young and he was, older. And it was really unusual for us to become best friends. And we were truly that the tie of just being on the planet at the same time was just huge. I mean, and Jason was very close to him. you know, so was my other brother, Scott. I mean, you know, we became a family, you know, because he was our family. You know, I didn't really, we didn't look at it first on any sort of past life level. It was just, we all came together like glue, and he would just call the boys to do stuff for him. Or, do you want to go have a meal, or, you know, that kind of stuff. And then I was in and out all the time. You know, and a lot of really magical things happened when we were together in our lives. And he knew by psychics. Our first meeting, we were definitely bonded from the first 5 minutes that we ever knew each other. Because we were set into a table that was this big, huge table, and you couldn't get out once you were in. It was in Hollywood. And so we were stuck in at the owner's table with, you had to ask 5 or 6 people to move if you need to get out.
You can like climb under the table and
yeah, he wanted to do that.
It's like,
believe me, if you're claustrophobic, it was, you know, it was terrible.
Yeah.
So yeah, so Jess and I were, you know, scrunched together in the middle of this table. And so the owner of the restaurant said to Jess, tell Tara something psychic. And I gave him my hand, and he guessed my year that I was born. And I said, yes. He guessed the day I was born. And then he guessed the year. But the year at that point wasn't probably too far. So he was, you know, maybe had that to gauge, but he got my birthday absolutely correct. And so I thought, you know, I mean, I just thought at the moment, oh my gosh, you know, we're kind of bonded. We're bonded. And so I said a few things to him, and he asked if I would like to come to his house for some kind of a meeting. And I said, oh yeah, no, thanks, you know, take your information, but I didn't go. And the owner and his wife of this restaurant, they were going through where he lived, and we all met at a restaurant, and he had his girlfriend there, Just did. And so I was like the fifth wheel, and we became friends though after that. That's when we became friends. And but the past life, definitely. So Jess and I didn't drink coffee or drink alcohol. And so we would drink orange juice together. And so whenever I was in LA or he was up toward my house, we would get together and go book hunting, usually in secondhand bookstores for his books. And we would go visit friends, his friends, my friends, but we would go for orange juice or dinner. And so that became our thing. And so we would do psychic readings for each other. And that was like wild and fun too, because, you know, I was just winging it. So I thought, and everything I would tell him would come to pass, and everything he told me came to pass. So it was a pretty fun time. And then he knew by what people would say on where our connection was. And I didn't know, you know, I was 21. I didn't know. And so, or care, you know, that's devil may care, young kid thing. Anyway, so but he would say, do you want to go to this healer, or you want to go to this seance, or you want to go there? And I would, sure, I'll go. So we would go to all the stuff, and I would write it down in my diary, but he was really listening to the information about where we would knew each other, what my future was going to be. And so, and then, you know, the first time I was ever hypnotized was through some hypnotist he knew in Silver Lake, this big, beautiful Spanish mansion. Anyway, so I remember being hypnotized, and it was fun. It was really fun. And where we had known each other before, it was so right on. It has like come up over and over and over in my life. Just all the parts of that. And The past life though of looking at that and knowing that, and that's what he did really for a living, you know, because Jeff Stern is prolific in books, you know, made Edgar Cayce famous, wrote Yoga, Youth, and Reincarnation in 1965. It was a New York bestseller. That's before anybody was doing anything. You know, he had his pulse on Eastern wisdom and he was bringing it forward. Even though Yogananda Paramahansa was here, you know, it was still not catching as fast as it should have through the public. And so he brought it kind of, you know, to the fore. And I think the Beatles caught on after that. And the rest is history. You know, we're living a more Eastern thought, meditation, being more mindful.
You know, I think that's where I became like more connected with Jess, is when we were working on re-releasing Yoga, Youth, and Reincarnation.
Mhm.
And we were, you know, sitting side by side there pretty much
Mhm.
in his Malibu home, and we were reading the book. We were just from page one, and we were going through and we were editing it, we were revising it, and you know, we would talk about parts of it, and he would you know, just tinker a little bit. He didn't like try to rewrite the whole thing to where he was, you know, then as a writer. It was like, for the most part, pretty intact to the original, but there were some things that we changed, and you know, it's like a mutual respect grew, you know, for you know, what I brought to it, what you know, and he was a storyteller, and so there were a lot of stories in between the you know, the work part of it that was fascinating. He met everyone from Eisenhower on down, you know, as far as
Yeah,
like people in power, you know, real shakers and movers in the world, and it's
he
like
was a newspaper
fascinating. Yeah,
journalist for the what was it, the New York Times, the New York Sun, something, New
one
York
of
Daily
the
Times.
daily news, you know,
Mhm. Yeah,
something,
something, yeah,
and also what, Newsweek,
yeah, he was the
one
editor
of,
for Newsweek.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
So he got around.
Yes, he was very prolific,
Yeah.
super prolific. And then when he did go to the ARE Foundation, it was just a little office then in Virginia Beach, and he was just doing articles. And so he went in to write an article about Edgar Cayce. He'd heard about Edgar Cayce, and they were all set, I guess, standing there, Gladys, the secretary, and Hugh Lynn, and the son, because Edgar had been dead many, many years. And he didn't, he just thought, well, this must be normal. They meet everyone like this. And but they were so shocked, because in the writings, he shows up, and in the writings it says, when Stern comes, give him everything. And so here Jeff Stern is coming in, and they have no idea, but they unlock the whole vault of automatic writing. They have a whole room filled with file cabinets of it. And so Jess got to go through everything. And so in 3 weeks, he had the Sleeping Prophet. He had written it. There was just so much material, and he was so excited about it. And
That is crazy, like writing a book in 3 weeks.
I know,
You know,
but that's Jess, you know.
wow. I mean, you have to absorb like the material and then kind of, you know, just rework it and all. It took me 6 months to
Mm,
write, you know, my book.
yeah. Oh,
You
yeah.
know, it wasn't like every
Yeah.
day, you know, it was like one kind of does it in spurts here and there. And then as you know, you start to see a light at the end of the tunnel. It's like, yes, I want to finish, and you like just focus and you get it all done. But 3 weeks, man,
The Sleeping Prophet.
that's impressive.
Mhm. Yeah, it was really fantastic, really. Yeah. And you know, and at the time I didn't realize I had had 2 near-death experiences when I was, you know, a kid, as a baby and as a 8-year-old. And so I, you know, I was very knew Jess's energy from a past life, very connected, that my best friend was, this 60-something-year-old man, and and I got married on his deck. I had a baby on his birthday. We were like, all sorts of magical things happened over my life with Jess. But he was already into anything that I became prolific at in my divination studies. And, it was kind of it was pre what I was started to really study. And he was, he never pushed me at any of it. Never even really talked to me about it until the time when I started studying it. And then we'd have hours of conversation. Because we just have hours of conversation just on a general level before then. And then it became, and then, I always had him over to my house at least, every other week for dinner. Yeah, I was always trying to feed him. And, if anything was up at the doctor's office, the doctor would call me, not anyone else would call me with what Jess needed. And, it was, yeah. And they knew I was his family in town. So yeah. Cute. I must have been on his emergency medical records everywhere.
So would you define that as a mentor, someone who,
Oh, yes.
like that type of relationship, where again, one can gravitate towards.
He was definitely a mentor, but that's the thing, is it's not like we, like he'd give me books that he thought were interesting to read, or we'd talk about them, what his theories were on things. But it wasn't like I sat and studied with him. I sat more and studied with Helene Kayal. She was French Moroccan. She was an incredible psychic, incredible palmist. I really enjoyed working with her, and Barbara May, who was a Western astrologer, and she was absolutely fantastic as well. But yeah. And then after that, I learned Eastern astrology, and I went on to, do a lot of hypnotherapy and manifesting sorcery, just fun stuff, moon rituals and what the cycles of the planet do.
Well, it's fun stuff, but it's important stuff too. I mean, it's
very
like, it's like when you set the stage of what it is that you want, it's like, then you like work to get it,
Yeah,
it's like
you flow with the energy.
you can, do some of the that intention work, the spell casting, the ritual parts of it that align your spirit to it, and allows you to call it in. And it's like, when you do call it in, it's not to like go, oh shit, where did that come from? It's like you're able to like, receive it, you're able to like be in gratitude. It's like, okay, it's here. Thank you, universe. I don't fear the opportunity. I'm not afraid of success, of succeeding in this. It's like, I'm ready to, take it to another level. So, that's
Yeah, and I studied for many years before I became a teacher of it. You can always stay a student, but I knew I need to step into the teacher role and to share it with everyone and have fun, because I think it's fun to leave the legacy of what I've learned behind, for sure, someday.
yeah, it's like when you have like a body of work like that, one is able to kind of measure their own progress, and see what their overall purpose has been in their own life. It's like,
Right,
so
like automatic writing.
there's like one more card that I wanted to like just
Yeah,
like
do,
share as far as that
yeah, I'll put a card to it.
past life, you know, like when it comes up, you know, it's like the Knight of Cups, you know, there's an aspect of magnetism,
Mhm.
of the magnetic energy where, you know, and the cups are the heart center. It's about where, you know, people, they can be like, they not know each other in this life, but there's this pull, there's this magnetic pull. And you know, that I think that's part of the experiences that, you know, people cultivate, you know, when you're in a relationship. It's like you cultivate this bond, you know, and you know, as individuals, you are your own, you know, separate person. But you know, it's like when when you're like in a certain activity or something, it's like, you know, that's when that magnetism is activated. And maybe one is at a point in their life where they're ready for that partner to come in and, you know, draw them in. And then, you know, the activities, the situations that they're looking to, uh, you know, inhabit and expand in their life, you know, kind of bringing in the right person for the right, uh, for the right job, you know, as far as that's maybe a little, you know, sterile to say about loved ones. It's like, you're here to work, mister, you know. But you know, it's like if someone is like ready to, like, you know, start a family or so, maybe, you know, it's like they're just like, I don't have a mate, you know, to like do that. How's this going to happen, you know? But then it's like, once you're setting that intention, you're creating that clarity in yourself. It's like, you know, you're out in the world, and then, you know, that magnetic energy is at work. And then, you know, it's like, how do you go from there?
Right, right, because it's not necessarily past life connection, isn't necessarily a great connection. It's just knowing. It's just the knowing. It could be, it's not going to go well at all. You're not too sure. Or it goes well, but nothing ever really comes of it. Like there's so much unfinished business that, you know, you just go forward and decide to, well, this has to be left behind for another time. Yeah. So how about this card with it? You had
With the
Knight of Cups,
with the Knight of Cups. What is that card? Is that a
Ten of
Pentacles?
Pentacles, which is a great card.
It's one that can, you know, have that ideal realm of showing what success, you know, looks like in a very full way, where it's not just the attainment of money and all, but it's how one has created an environment of family and friends, and you know, has surrounded themselves with a nice environment, something that, you know, keeps a flow of success, like a nice, just you know, where it's moving, where it's, you're investing, you're reinvesting in that which supports you. And so, you know, I think that with that Knight of Cups, again, looking kind of at any like past life, or, you know, that idea of magnetizing things. It's about, you know, where what your ideal is certainly to build, you know, to have an expansive life, something that, you know, if you're wanting, if you're daring to dream big, that you 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 know, work towards it, you incorporate it, you don't shy away from it.
Yeah.
You know, you don't you know, become overwhelmed by it so much that it's just like, oh, it's too much, I'm not going to do it. You know, it's like, find ways that can be, you know, slow steps, can be, where you're not just jumping into something, but take the time to build. And, I think when we magnetize things to us anyway, I think we're in a place of trusting the
Yes.
universe. I think that, sometimes we have to get out of our own head about, the nature of how our being, our spirit, our own heart has it. There's power there. There is, the ability to have what it is that we want, and to activate these parts of ourselves too. And it's like we don't always figure out the mechanics of it. It's not always the why does that work, or how does that work. It's just like, it works. And this is, what I want for myself. So therefore I'm in it. And, I don't have to, dissect it. I don't have to, just break it all down and, kind of leave it like, in a place where, we can destroy these things. It's like that fable of the golden goose. It's like where, it's like the goose lays an egg every day. That's what it does. And if someone is thinking, well, I'm just going to go to the source of that, and I'm going to tear that goose apart, I'm going to just have all of,
Yeah, you couldn't do that.
and it's like, well, there's nothing there.
Wow. Wow. That's a really good analogy.
And it's because it's like one loses their own trust of the process, and gets inside, trying to, again, like, control.
Overthinking, overworking, overwrought,
Yeah.
over all of it.
Yeah.
Hey,
And
Jason, where can people find you?
they can find me at Jason D McKean, JASON, Dragon Master D. Oh, it's DM. Nice. The
Yeah.
spelling.
Yes.
JASON DMCKEAN.com, and on Facebook, Jason D McKean. Instagram, Jason Tarot Wizard. That's me.
And you can find me at terrainsight.com, my website, and the Vortex Mystery School classes are up. They're in the videos, and you can rent them. And so you don't have to hold the content if you don't want. And also, I'm at Terra Insight and Terra Sutphen all over the internet. You name it. I'm kind of on all the social media.
Yeah, on the Instagram, like Terra Insight, and
Twitter.
all of those good
I have
ones.
2 Facebook pages because I let everybody be my friends instead of, have, just a page, but I have pages too. So
Yeah.
there a couple times. Yeah. A couple, 3 or 4 times. And yeah. Anyway.
Excellent. Well, thank you. Have a wonderful Friday, and lots of love to you.
Yeah.
And to everyone, thank you, and blessings to you.
Yes. Thank you. All right. Bye, JC.
Bye.